Greetings, fellow scrappers. Now today I'm going to take a crack at this Dell PC. These are generally pretty straight up, not difficult to scrap out. And the difficulty really lies in finding them anymore. There's just not a lot of e-scrap out there. If you're lucky enough to get to a school or someplace that has lots of older laptops and older desktops, then you've done well for yourself. Okay, that'll just come on up like that. Oh ho 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 ho! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Do you see what I see? Looky, looky! We've got us a processor. Very nice, very unexpected. Alright. Maybe I have to take back all the things I just said. This one's got quite a bit in it. We'll do alright here. Hard drive. I will take this apart and I will take the board off, and if I can get at the platters, I will smash them or scratch them up. Board Sort does buy them, but it's like 40 cents a pound. It's not a lot. This is a newer board. They pay less. I've forgotten. There's a SATA and a non-SATA, and I've drawn a blank as to which is which. I have to go up and look again. Isn't that terrible? SATA. This is a SATA. It says so right there. So the SATA. This is your lower quality board. The higher quality boards, you'll find them mostly in older computers. They'll be thinking it's 24 gold pins that'll go on there. So I'll get this board off later. I'll try and get the platters out, and we'll see how that goes. That's going to be on another video, though. This one is just about taking apart a computer. You want to try to maximize your value, get all of the wire you can. With it becoming more and more difficult to find PCs, especially older PCs, you want to make sure you maximize your value. There was a time I would have not taken a lot of the things that I take now, but otherwise it's really just not worth the time. The light iron prices here in Connecticut are a joke. It's almost not even worth taking light iron to the scrapyard anymore. That's really no joke. I've actually taken to leaving the computer cases on the curb for the people who scrap full time. I'm more interested in electronics. I'm more what's inside than outside, so to speak. I'll go after the copper, I'll go after the aluminum, I'll go after the boards, the RAM, the memory, things like that. I forgot what the price is. I almost think it's like $40 a gross ton. That's a lot of computer cases. I don't need all that aggravation. So, they said we have a lot of scrappers who run through our neighborhood, and if I can put them out and help them out a little bit, well, that's good. Okay, let me get this power supply out of the way. It's really quite a bit easier to work with the power supply out of your way. Just a regular screwdriver. I've got to get the 4 screws off the back here. really just don't have the room to store a ton worth of computer cases here. I mean, I'm really a hobby scrapper. I do this to raise a little bit of extra money. I actually shared my knowledge with my local scrapyard. They bought my old website. They now have an e-scrap business, and they pretty much told me I'm not welcome at their yard anymore. Really nice, huh? But that's okay. I don't really need to do this full-time. I have a full-time music school that I'm very happy running now that COVID has passed. And the students have come back and the business is doing well. So I do this as a hobby now. I've gotten pretty good at it. I do enjoy it. And maybe I should call it kitchen table scrapping. I have a few people who call me on a pretty regular basis to come and get their old IT equipment. And that's pretty much what I rely on nowadays. They don't have a bulk pickup where I live, except by appointment twice a year. And people really are not leaving a lot of computer stuff out on the curb. I wouldn't either. I would definitely find somebody like me to recycle it. It's scary if you were to watch a video of any one of a number of these file recovery programs. You know, for 20 bucks, you can buy a little device, you can hook it onto your computer, you can pop in any hard drive you want, and this little device will retrieve all the files. How scary is that? So, this is why I recommend finding somebody to scrap the computer, or bring it to Best Buy or Staples or any place that has dedicated recycling. Or if you're in Stratford, Connecticut, at a local area, give me a call and I'll come get it. Okay. I should be able to get this out of the way. Unless I missed a screw. You know, you could do 1,000,001 of these, but then when you go and put it on video, that's the one that's going to give you all kinds of aggravation. As far as power supplies go, that again is up to you, whether you want to sell them to your local yard whole. For power supplies without wires, they go for like 20 cents a pound or some such thing. Again, you've got to know your local yard. To ship these to a board sort or some other similar company is really cost prohibitive. There's no sense to that. So what I do is I will go into this later. I think I'm going to just do it. Come on, you stink biscuit. What are you doing? For me, I guess he likes it here. He doesn't want to come out. Boy, oh boy. I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. Why am I trying to do a video and take a computer apart at the same time? They do all have their little nuances. Gosh. See, I'm going to take the wires. I'm also going to open the power supply box, and I'm going to take out the copper, and I'm going to take out the aluminum, and then I'm just going to sell it as a low quality board. I do have somebody who buys low quality boards. Again, to throw it into the shred is just not worth it. There's just no money to be made doing that at all. I'd rather make a little, like 40 cents a pound, than make nothing by selling it as shred. I guess the thing with shred is you just have to have so much of it. Unless you have a dump truck or a bin or some such thing. Yeah, it's messy and I just don't want to deal with it. Okay, I've got some nice gold fingered ram. What else we got here? Let's see. I need to get this shroud off so I can get to the fan. You know, you'd think you'd be able to just get in there and pop the little darling right off, and boy, sometimes no matter how many computers you do, you just run into that one that likes to give you a difficult time. There's screws holding this shroud on. That's what I'm getting off right now. There we go. Dell usually has these nice aluminum heat sinks. Again, depending on your yard, I've asked for extruded and I don't get it. So they wind up giving me old sheets. And it's not worth it for me to argue because I already know I'm going to lose. And that's the way it goes. I'll clean the sticky stuff off, but that's a nice piece of extruded aluminum and I don't care what they say. But they're going to buy it as old sheets, so. Yeah, no, what are you gonna do? I guess when you're the buyer, you can call the shots, eh? Okay. I don't expect anything exciting under the CPU. I expect it to just be a standard no-pinned CPU. Let me take a peek anyway. I do like to double check to make sure that they are not I-Core 3 and above. This is, well, it is an I-Core, but it's it's an I-Core 2, so that's not going to be really high in the resale department. Board store buys them for scrap. If you get like an i5, i6, i7 in good shape, they do have a test and purchase program. Those are definitely worth it. Alright. Let's get this puppy out of here. The Dell computers usually just use a Phillips. The HPs seem to like torque screws, so do the AMDs. So you want to make sure you have one of each handy, huh? Don't forget this little one right here. Long-handled Phillips head. Okay, who did I miss? A lot of times on these boards you have to go back for the, there's usually screws in the shroud holder. And you got to get those out because they do hold the board to the frame. Yeah, right on cue. So I believe I was mistaken. If this had been a slot processor, which I thought it was originally, I wouldn't have had a CPU. So because we had a CPU, I'm incorrect about this. This is going to be a GPU with a big heatsink. Some kind of graphics card or audio card or some such thing. Shucks. So that will have to come out. There's a couple of little hex screws on the outside of the computer. You can usually just get those off with a set of needle nose pliers. Works off real well. And there's just two of them holding the graphics card onto the computer. I got myself all excited about nothing. There's two of these holding it onto the frame. There's one. And here's two. It's totally up to you if you want to try to resell these cards or not. My feeling is the computer's been scrapped for a reason, usually because something's not working. And if you don't know how to test that, well, you know, you might sell something that's broken. But more likely, especially with the AMD boards and the gaming computers, people are just upgrading. You know, the gaming computers are getting faster and faster and faster. And I mean, I find myself pulling AMD Raytheon chips that were their new chip last year, and already finding them in computers as scrap. So that's how quick it changes. You know, NVIDIA chips, NVIDIA chips, NVIDIA chips, NVIDIA chips, which I like. I'm a NVIDIA stockholder. But, you know, everybody wants faster, 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 faster. And they just upgrade and throw away the whole computer. Which is good for people like me. I like Dell. I like their computers. I think Michael Dell is a brilliant man. And that's a company I think is going to do very well going into 2025. Okay, who's hiding on me? Who did I miss? Down in the back corner here. How did I miss you? You never want to force things. If you have to force things, it just simply means you got to go back and find the screw that you missed. I think there's another set of brackets holding this in. Of course, sometimes these computers are sat out in the weather, so they're a wee bit wet, which is going to make them a little harder to take apart. That's another reason I don't sell components from computers that I found along the way. You know, they may be wet, they may have been in a flood, who knows. So I had a friend of mine, before the scrapyard threw me out, they said I was obnoxious. Me? Obnoxious? Ay, ay, ay. Of course, they threw me out because I kept catching them shorting me all the time. They didn't like that very much. But, you know, it is what it is. Karma, baby, karma. What goes around comes around. And, you know, I've moved on to something much better. Okay. Ugh. Now, there's a screw under this graphics card that I have to somehow get at. How am I going to do this? I'm going to have to get this card out. Without getting the card out, I can't get the screw out, I don't think. Oh, maybe I can. I cannot tell you how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of computers I've taken apart. And it never fails, you know, when you go to put one on video, all the challenges come up. I've got the board out. Hooray, hurrah. See, I thought this was a slot processor because of the size of that lovely aluminum heatsink. Alright. Pooey. Voila. Get the battery off, of course. If you sell to a buyer and you leave the batteries on, they are going to downgrade your entire load. So you gotta make sure you get the batteries off. And I bring mine to the local dump. They do have a recycling bin, dedicated recycle area for batteries. So I do bring those in just out of a sense of environmental responsibility. Okay. So this is a small socket motherboard, small socket green motherboard. You can't get a quarter inside of here. That's the determining factor. And of course it's green. I'll take this off. Most buyers prefer you take the heat sinks off anyway, so we'll get that off. I'm going to nip it. You get the metal off, get steel off rather. Some yards will sell these as clips. I'm going to pull. I've pulled that up. There's no magnetism in this thing anymore. I'll toss that in with old sheet. And I think that's about it for this board. Again, I don't depopulate my boards. I just don't think it's a nice thing to do. There's a lot of gold pins. There's gold pins here, but the price I'm getting paid, there's gold pins here. The price I'm getting paid for this board is fair. And you know, if somebody's being fair with you, you got to be fair with them. There's not really a lot on the back, and so that's the board. If you're not sure about grading your boards, Shark Scrapper is excellent. I learned a lot watching his videos. And Board Sort has put up a lot of new videos the past couple of months. Very comprehensive and very helpful. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm sure I've just sent out 7 or 8 boxes to sell, and I'm sure I'll get at least one note back. Hey, you! This is that, not this. Okay. Sorry about that, move on. A nice piece of extruded, for which I'll get paid, old sheet. Aluminum. Got a garbage can outside that is full of heat sinks and the like, so maybe we'll cash that in this week, I don't know. Okay. It's only a couple of cents difference between extrusion and the old sheet. It's certainly more convenient than shipping it off. Alright, so this is no, it doesn't say. I'm going to guess it's an AMD gaming card because it's red. Here's another one I took out of an AMD computer about an hour ago. That looks like the same chip to me pretty much. The NVIDIA chips will say NVIDIA on them. You know, they're nice looking boards, you know, so. Oh, this one's from Canada. Wow. Alright, so anyway, Goldfinger cards, no heat sink, no bracket, best value. Okay, there's not too much left here to recover. I probably will take out the disk drives and the optical sensors and those things again, just because there's not a heck of a lot of e-scrap out there anymore. Just like everything else, there's a lot of people doing the same thing, and well, when that happens, there's just no supply. Okay, I will open this up and I will take the board out. Board Sort will buy those. And this I will take apart because those are beautiful gold pins. And those I will take for myself and then throw the rest in shreds. Okay, I think that's going to be all she wrote on this one. Nice little low-grade card. And that's it for Mr. Dell. See you on the next one.